I believe Vine is in my bloodstream, says Lizzie Rudd. While Dad came household at overnight, he never talked on job, so I must include be concerned via osmosis systems. Ms. Rudd, 52, has with 2017 been president of BBR, the UK's senior Vine trader. The business is belonging among the Rudd and the Fruit families. Relying in the prestigious St. James's region of centre London, the industry has had a store down there with 1698. A business in an undoubtedly chic repute. About it are multiple individual members' clubs, 2 of the UK's largest exceptional cig shops, and a keep wherever you can buy a done-to-measure shotgun front of the begin of the Grumble survey time of year. In Ms. Rudd's great but amazingly cozy office space, a picture of her dad John, president before 2000, dominates one of the walls. It would be lightweight to think how BBR is a bulwark of man-led heritage, but the unique business was in fact begun by a female. And Ms. Rudd is the company's other woman president. This industry was based in 1698 by the widowed Bourne, she says. We barely aware whatever on her, just how she set up the store as a grocer's, importing chike, coffee and exotic spices. The business was marketing Vine at low by the begin of the 19th age, in its behalf change to Fruit Brothers in the 1840s, and later to Fruit Brothers and Rudd age after in the 1940s. Following Planet War couple, Lizzie Rudd's grandma Ethel Rudd became president. Had it ever been in vanity for her to pursue in her grandmother's footsteps? Not. I never estimated how I'd be president, down there was never any blood pressure or waiting how I'd exceed the industry, says Ms. Rudd. While Ms. Rudd at first united the household company in the deceased 1980s, it wasn't in Vine, but in alcohol. Particularly she at first treated in the sale division for BBR's later whiskey mark Cutty Sark. A large vendor, especially in the 1960s and 1970s, how one food utilized to expense for more than rather than 2/3 of BBR's yearly rental income. Nearly 10 years following Ms. Rudd united the household industry, she leftward to concentrated on earning up her 5 family. In 2005 she refundable as vice president. Present BBR has 400 employees, and a yearly circulation of £187 metre. In supplement to its London staff, the business has 2 gigantic warehouses in Hampshire, wherever it store millions of glass container of Vine. Which did it get for Ms. Rudd to do the move up to the president stance? You've got to be a nice attendant of the industry, to support which makes it checkmark, she says. But which does do a 321-year-old industry checkmark, and how has it kept for so length? This planet's change so rapidly, how human beings purchase, how human beings sip, so we requirement to hold driving and hold up in customer trends. In reality, BBR's industry pattern has modified noticeably above the history 10 years. In 2010 Cutty Sark was sold out, so it could attention more than on the Vine party of the industry. Currently Vine makes up 90% of turnover in alcohol at 10%. The acting to the business's strengths on to Arabella Mileham, retailer text editor of the drinks industry. Though human beings who don't aware lot on the Vine production would recognize their behalf, says Ms. Mileham. They include enormous mark acceptance. The at first item you believe of while you refer their behalf is how historical storefront line on St. James's Road. But Ms. Mileham points out how down there is material over the ancient fashioned picture. They wouldn't include lasted so length if it hadn't been for the quality assurance, she says. You don't get how repute out of thing to behind it. They've as well got a really nice crew of Vine buyers, that is essential. And time BBR will sell you a Vine for £25,000, for fair one bottling, its cheapest expenses less than rather than £6. As the business looks front to its following 3 centuries, Ms. Rudd says how Asiatic markets are proper more essential. The is reflecting in the reality how BBR now has shops in Singapore, Post Kong and Japan. But is it always hard to conduct a industry belonging by 2 various families? Ms. Rudd says everyone gets on. Down there are 56 shareholders who are generally Berries and Rudds. Yet the vote doesn't job on the base of shares, we do the decisions along. But which happens while disagreements occur. Though our personalities are various, we're usually verified, she says. A lot of us include grown up along, and we're kind of love kin. We do include strong discussions, but it's not love. Several household relationships wherever down there can be stress. These conversations might appear to external actors love arguments, but they are not at all. As in each household industry, the issue of continuity serial up. Do any of her family wish to pursue in her footsteps? No of them are in the industry at the time, but they're all concerned in wine and alcohol. We've had 2 household days in the following generations of Barrys and Rudds. Recent period down there were about 50 to 60, and we learned them communication, how to recite a balance sheet leaf, pragmatic skills. We wish to promote them to include the industry on the radar gun. So how length does Ms. Rudd plan to remain at the steering wheel? It's essential to move downward as and while down there is who in the following general prepared to get above, as opposed to stay on before I'm old. That is a overall characteristic in household industry, and really in my own household previous. I wish to be their length quite to do a distinction, but in procedure to hold things driving in the industry and up to date, we requirement to enable the junior general to move in and get departure as quickly as they are prepared. For now, although Ms. Rudd is in the drive chair, and perhaps in 20-year period her picture will be suspended on the side.